Good evening, and welcome to IntellectualRadio.com. You are with Zemrah and Ed. Here's the life.
Yes, you are.
And here's the life, your life. We are, as always, so excited to have an opportunity to talk with you. And hopefully, we always bring something that will fulfill you and help you, assist you with health, with love, with life. And so what we've decided to do is that we want to start a healthy segment. And we realize and we want to do that regularly. We're going to decide on probably the second weekend every month because there's so much dealing with health, and we went over some of the things that was going on with Ed last week, and you hear so many different problems that people have with their health. And so we wanted to share. We always say, like we said last week, take your meds that the physician tells you to take. But we always, I have a book, and I'm going to bring that next time. Good pill, worse pill. And so whenever we get a prescription, I always like to look it up and kind of find out what some of the side effects are. And so we'll be able to share some of that with you, just like as far as a lot of, blood pressure medicine. And we're going to go over a little bit of that. But this is going to be a segment of healthcare just for you. And we're going to come out and talk with annual enrollment coming in. We're going to talk a little bit about Medicare and some of the plans that might be good for you, kind of go over and tell you about, supplements and, just not necessarily tell you what plan you should take because we're not going to advertise for a plan like that, of course, but we're going to just tell you, that about supplements as opposed to Medicare Advantages and PPOs as far as an HMO and what kind of saves your pocket, what kind of gives you the opportunity to go anywhere you want, see any doctor you want, even go to Mayo Clinic if you want. So we're going to, talk about a lot like that. We want you to be clear on knowing your body. I think that's the key is knowing how your body works because what might work for Ed might not work for me, although he is a male. So I'll just say maybe what might work for Wanda B might not work for me and then vice versa. So we're going to talk a little bit about that because definitely our bodies are absolutely capable of healing itself. It just depends again on you, what you put in your body and exercise and just kind of pulling everything together because we definitely believe that your health is your wealth. So we really want to, when you start getting older, when you're young, you can kind of get by and all of that. But then we say to really and truly get started is to do that with your children on how they eat, even with them exercising. I was with a client, it's been a while back, but this client, she had never even taken an aspirin. No medication, no over the counter. Yeah. I mean, but she never even took an aspirin because, old school takes aspirin. A lot of people say that just like with what you're taking, the Eliquis, some people are able to just do a baby aspirin once a day. And that suffices as a blood thinner because a baby aspirin can thin out your blood. And then if you've started it out and been taking it for a long time, then, the consequences of you getting a blood clot, would be not necessarily,
a lot less.
It would be a lot less of a chance of that happening. So we're just going to, share some of the medications and some of the herbs that you will be shocked that can really and truly be really, really good for you. And one of the things is everything starts with the gut.
That's your immune system.
Yeah, that's where disease or dis-ease rather, that's where it all starts is in the gut. So that's why we always talk about probiotics. Just like if you take an antibiotic, you should always take a probiotic along with that because it puts the good bacteria in your system. It's the same thing if you go through a bout of diarrhea or a bout of throwing up, if you do a probiotic, I mean, it
Mm.
just really and truly makes you feel good. It really helps
It
you.
balances out the
It
enzymes in your stomach.
it really
Hmm.
does. It's very very good. And I always tell people, if you feel yourself coming, get a little inkling of a scratchy throat or a little inkling of just not feeling quite yourself, to grab about 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C, and also if you don't have the vitamin C, then make sure that you have a probiotic. And a probiotic, you can even the strings go from like even up to 100 billion. It just depends, because some people can't take it that high. Their tolerance won't work if it goes that high.
Hmm.
But I think I take maybe about 30 billion. And you can just feel the difference in your body and how you feel once you take your probiotics. So your digestive system and all of that. And one of the things that is really good too is also chicory root for for your digestive system. So it's just good for you to be able to know that there are alternatives. Although we say to always make sure that you take what the doctor says, do your study, do your read up, and then just see if you, because you always with these separate that. So if you take your medication, you take that at your regular time, make sure you have that in your system. And then if you want, just like hawthorn berries, that is so wonderful for your heart.
So if you're taking medications, prescription drugs, and you're also taking vitamins and supplements, how long should you wait between the two if you're going to take them? 30 minutes, an hour, a couple hours,
I'd say maybe about 2 or 3
2 or
hours.
3 hours separation between your medication and your supplement, natural supplement
Absolutely.
vitamins. Okay.
Yeah, you should not. And then some, like your vitamins, some of your vitamin B's, your magnesium, even your potassium. You can take a lot of that. Selenium is very good for your immune system as well. And it's also very, very good for fighting off cancer, selenium. So you can take one of those capsules or tablets once a day or twice a day, and that is very, very good. And what your vitamin B's, your vitamin D3, those your magnesium is your life force. That and your potassium. If you feel like you're swelling or you're feeling dehydrated or feeling a sense of weakness, you're most likely short on your potassium. Some people, and your potassium really should be about 4,000 milligrams a day. You can't overdo it with potassium because then it could be a problem. So you want to stay right around there. And some people, they do a banana every day. They get their potassium with a banana or potatoes or like that. But 4,000 milligrams of potassium definitely will not hurt. But magnesium makes you rest well. It comes, and you should get the magnesium chloride, and it just makes you rest well. And your vitamins, really and truly, if you take your B's and your magnesium and your potassium, if you take it at night, because that's when your body really heals. When you take it at night while you're sleeping, that's why it's good to really get rest and be on top of your sleep, because that's one of the things that um, people think that well, it's good for you to exercise. Of course, we always say that you don't even have to exercise no hours at a time and all of that. If you exercise 15 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, and we always say every other day is better because it gives your muscles a chance to relax. But exercise is always awesome to do, but it's nothing like getting rest and really sleep. Sleep is really important, and that's what the Chinamen say. They say nothing like a nap. Pat, our friend, she's like family, Pat and Chaz, and that's one of the things that she was reading something from the Chinese about whatever exercise, whatever, but nothing's like a nap. So, and you know they believe in getting their rest. So we want to make sure that we always,
I
can.
think you told me that the old guy, the Chinese old guy said, if you want to live longer, he said, why would you exercise? That's like wanting your car to last longer, so you drive faster. He
That's
said,
what
why?
Pat read,
He said,
right?
why would you do that? He said, if you want to live longer, get some rest.
Yeah, take a nap. That's what he said. Take a
He said,
nap.
take a nap every now and then. Which made a lot of sense.
It did.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Good.
So if you can, do that. If your schedule is not, because that's what we always tease Pat and Chaz about, they get their rest.
Well,
So we're saying that if you can get a nap in there, it's very, very important.
well, let me tell the fellas this. It's first of all, it's not your fault because men normally, especially brothers, don't like taking a bunch of pills. They just don't believe in it. They think as long as I'm eating right, doing eating what I want, I should be okay. But you don't live in that world anymore. The world has changed. Since I grew up, my father and them grew up, the food was natural, came straight from the earth. There was no byproducts, there was no chemicals, pesticides, anything in the food. So it was much better for you. Nowadays, you have to supplement those vitamins because it's not in the food anymore. The food that you're getting now is depleted in the things that your body needs. So now you got to take supplement to that food to give your body what it needs to function on. So if it comes between a choice of buying a new suit and getting you some vitamins, get you some vitamins, some supplements, stuff that help you rest well, give you energy back, and supply your body what it needs in order to function so you can live a long and happy life. So this should be the regimen for all, especially men, because your children will do what they see you do. And if you're not eating right, because this is a fast food world,
It is.
people who come home from work, they're too busy to stop by the chicken place and the burger place, and those foods are processed, and they've got processed and they got preservatives in them to make them last longer. And those preservatives, the body cannot digest,
Exactly.
so it stores it all over your body, into your cells and into your hips and thighs. And we're the biggest people in the world. It's unbelievable. So
Mhm.
we're overweight. So that's where the excess goes in your body because your body cannot metabolize these foreign chemicals. So it stores it. And then later on in life, you are younger in your 50s and you've got all kind of diseases. You're diabetic for no reason at all, and then you pass that on to your children.
Well, when you say diabetic for no reason at all,
Well,
well,
there's a reason, chemical reasons,
yeah.
but it's not because you ate too much candy.
Right, because a lot of people think that becoming a diabetic is through sugar,
No,
but what it is, it's really through starch.
right, because all the starchy foods that you eat, and all the French fries and potato chips and things like that. And if you use that a constant diet of that, which is a lot of young people do, they do this in the morning
Oh,
when their body
absolutely.
is most vulnerable. They're on their way to school or to work, and they're grabbing a snack,
And their
chips,
snack is burgers and
and now they got to wake up your taste buds. They got these potato chips and French fries in a bag and popcorn that's super hot,
really.
extremely hot,
How you know it's hot?
because they sell them. They get bags of them. They call them flaming hot.
Oh, you talking about them flaming hot?
Yeah,
you know,
they
and
tell you it's hot. It's flaming, and you gonna have this for breakfast?
have you seen these? Lay's. Lay's is coming out with all kinds of potato chips, with all kinds of
Because
names.
they have to wake up your taste buds. Like an alcoholic has to have something spicy because his smoking and drinking has killed his taste buds. So everything has to be super spicy in order for him to even taste it. So now you have to have more spicy food, which is going to ruin your intestines and your stomach.
Unless you're doing straight cayenne pepper. Because
Yeah,
cayenne pepper, they have the cayenne pepper is very, very, really healthy for you.
that's a
You put it in a
that's
little
a blood.
water, or you use it in a little lemon juice with a little
Right.
apple cider vinegar. They even sell that
That's a
now where you
blood.
can get
That's a
that
blood cleanser.
combination.
That'll clean.
Right.
That'll clean your blood.
But that's the pure kind. All
Yeah.
this other stuff is It's generic
But
and
we
it
want
isn't
you
good
guys
for
to
you.
stick around a little longer because we're going to need you later on in life.
Yeah.
So take care of yourself and do some studying and only take the things that are good for you and things that you need to take for your breakfast and not a bag of potato chips and a pop.
And so we want to talk about a little bit about if you maybe about four or five of the blood pressure medications like the valsartan. It was a recall on that, the losartan, because it was coming from China and they had a bad batch. So if you're taking that, make sure that it's supposed to be corrected, but just check with your pharmacist and just make sure that um, the one that you're taking currently, that everything is okay with that, because it was equating it with cancer. So just check, because I take the valsartan, and I definitely check to make sure that the one that I was getting it from, that it was fine,
Yeah,
and it
well,
is.
when did cancer get to be commonplace?
Oh my God, it's just
It's just accepted. Oh yeah,
it's
oh yeah,
something.
cancer. Yeah, we know everybody. Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
got that.
And it seemed
No,
like, I
it's
mean, it
not.
just comes out of what's amazing, it just comes out of nowhere.
No, it came out of somewhere.
Well, we know that, that like in Westmont, for example, what
That
going
was
on in
that's
the
air pollution.
air pollution.
And what if they do
They have
that,
a major,
they're never going to accept the responsibility for that. But those kind of things, air pollution give, does cause cancer. Those are carcinogenics in the air
yeah.
that they know are there.
And we know that for a fact
Yeah, right.
because it happened to our family members,
But
to one of
since
our
they've
family
made cancer
members.
so popular, until it's not a big deal.
So, if you're taking lisinopril and you're wondering, wow, where is this dry cough coming from? That's your lisinopril. And a
That the
lot of
doctor
people
didn't
take
tell
that.
you about.
Right. That's one of the side effects, lisinopril. If you get a dry cough and you've been taking that, that's one of the side effects from lisinopril. And then
Mm.
amlodipine, a lot of people are taking that. That's another one that's on the market that is, not really a great choice. When I got diagnosed with blood pressure, it was really ironic because I had went for iridologist. I saw a naturalist, and he put me on straight licorice root, which licorice root is. I mean, that's why you have to be mindful, even with your natural herbs, because they are herbs and you can have some side effects from that as well. But I know that that was something that throwed me into a blood pressure problem because it was straight licorice root. I was on it straight for about a month doing a cleanse. And that is found in most of your cleanses. But that was just a little portion. This was straight licorice root. And it elevated my pressure. So the doctor monitored it for a while, and I still having this little lightheadedness and all of that. So I did my own research, and so
Which you
that's
have to
what,
do.
yeah. And
I
so
encourage everyone to do that.
I told the doctor I was not going to do any combinations. So I just went with hydrochlorothiazide, which is nothing but a water pill. And so I took that for a long, long time. And after I was on it for so long, then that's when I said, well, I'm wondering, being on a water pill that long, could you have any effect from that? So then that's when I mentioned it to the doctor, and then they, put me on
Well,
something else.
people out there in the audience, you have to remember, doctors are not trained in herbology. They're not trained in natural healing foods or anything like that. They're taught strictly a pharmaceutical based education, which means no matter what's wrong with you, they have a drug for it. It doesn't matter what it is. Their remedy is a drug, some drug or another. They're going to put you on. That's why he has a little pad there. So when you tell him what's wrong with you, he writes you a prescription. He don't have any other answers to that because he was never taught that. So don't blame it on the doctor because he was never taught it. He doesn't know. that you there's some herbs that you need to take, that your body's depleted in certain vitamins and minerals that you have to replace them, and that's not in your food, and you need to be on some type of supplement to prevent you from getting these diseases. And but they don't know because they were never taught that. The pharmaceutical companies own the school that the doctor went to. So what do you think? So what does that tell you? They own the school, they train the doctors, and they tell them once you graduate and you see your patients, every condition and every ailment that you have, we have a drug for it. That's their solution for everything. It's a drug or surgery.
And then it doesn't say, because the medication, we've been taking that forever. The medication works. It's just a band-aid. It's not all, they're not really, it's not
Well,
necessarily the
this
cure.
this country's not into healing anything. We're here into treatment. Ask any doctor, they'll tell you we have a treatment for everything. We're not trying to cure anything.
Well, that's how they make their
It's a
money.
treatment. Treatment centers, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
That's right.
Treatment. It's a whole institutionalized condition they've made it a national event. I mean, we've got whole organizations dedicated to a disease that they plan on keeping.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
it's not
That's how
going
they
in.
make
And I
their
said we're
money.
not trying to eradicate cancer. We're trying to eliminate cancer and find out what the cause is and make sure it doesn't come back again. Nobody's thinking that way. We're going to treat you for whatever it is you got. We're not going to eliminate it. We're not looking for a cure. We're going to treat it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that makes a difference. So I'm going to treat you, and I'm going to heal you with some of Zimra's music right now.
My girl.
We'll be right back. You just listened to my reprieve of what's going on. And that's what we're talking about. What's going
What in the world is going on?
with our health care. So Ed was just talking about uh, what was you saying?
You can see I made an
Oh, but he was
indelible
saying about
impression
he was saying about
upon her.
we were talking about as far as blood pressure medications and all that. But one of the things that is really good for arthritis, for blood pressure, for your hormone, a woman's hormones, uh, let me see, inflammation, Crohn's disease is, and a lot of people might be familiar or have heard about it, especially your old timers, is cat's claws.
Ah,
And it comes in the capsule, it comes in the tingens, which is the little drops, which I really like the tingens because they're drops that you can just put. Hawthorn berries comes in that too, that you can just drop in a little water and drink it down. Valerium is another thing that's very, very good if you have problems resting or you're going through some nervousness.
ooh,
You take that valerium
that's a
and
lot
it
of
is
people.
awesome.
You'd be
Yeah.
surprised at people who can't even get a good night's rest.
Yeah, but that valerium, you just, well, also with magnesium, it's wonderful too. It makes you rest well. But valerium is specifically for nervousness. If you're feeling, have a nervous type of feeling, it really relaxes you, it relaxes your heart, and it is so, so good. So that's something that you can look at. And also chamomile. A lot of people take a cup of chamomile tea because also your hawthorn berries also comes in tea, and you can take a nice hot cup of tea. But chamomile tea is another thing that relaxes your nerves and also makes you rest well. So chamomile tea, valerium, magnesium, your hawthorn berries. They come in tingens, they come in a tea, and you can just choose really or a capsule. It just depends on which one that you prefer to take and that makes you really and truly
Yeah,
rest
well,
well.
anything that kind of settles your nervous system uh, will help you sleep and also help your digestive system and your immune system because that's where your immune system is in your gut.
Well, your probiotics does a lot for your immune
Yeah.
system. Your immune system, really and truly, with your um, um, what helps your immune system is your probiotics. That really and truly helps your immune system. So that's why we always like to mention that because that just does so much. That and vitamin C is wonderful for your immune system. That's why I say if you feel like you're coming down with something, you pop one of those capsules of your probiotic, and you get the probiotics where you can take it first thing in the morning. You can take it even without food, and it works. And I'm saying that it works because I've worked it and I know that it's very, very good for you. And then also, people that have high cholesterol, cohosh is very, very good for that. And it's just so many alternatives to that you can use if you are a person that doesn't like a lot of medication, and
Who
it's a
does?
great. I don't know if too many people do, but then you do have people that are definitely, they want to make sure that they take their meds, and that's what we say: make sure that you take your medication that has been prescribed by you. But always, look it up. You can go online and look it up. A lot of these medications, that's another thing too. A lot of these medications are just so expensive. If you go online and just put that prescription in, you can get a coupon. You will be surprised. People that's paying $150 for their medicine, $200 for their medicine. If you go and put in the name of that prescription and ask for a coupon, it will 9 times out of 10 give you from 70 to 80% off. I did it for my clients, and I know that that works. And you'll be surprised how it wind up being $30, $40, and it will shock you. And it's not a coupon that goes out. It's a coupon that you can use indefinitely.
Yeah, right. That's a big difference in a
That's a big
person's budget
savings.
when that kind of money is going out just for medication.
Yeah, because some people cannot, like furosemide is the generic for Lasix, and Lasix, and that's a water pill, and Lasix is so expensive, whereas Lasix might be $40, $50, and you can get, unless you have a plan, and sometimes it just depends, but furosemide you can get that for $3, $4, $5 on some of
And
your
it does
plans.
the same thing.
And it's the generic, and that's why a lot of people always tell them too, don't get hung up on the name of it because it's still, most of the time it's your same ingredients. It's just a different name on it, but it still does the same job. Gets that water out of you, and that's what hydrochlorothiazide also is a water pill, and it pulls the water out. They put you, if you're still holding water, that's when they put you on the furosemide.
Yeah, and let everybody know that a name brand doesn't make it better. It just means that the person that invented it and developed it, they get to sell it first for so many years, 5, 10 years. And after that, anyone else can make the same medicine using the same ingredients and they put their name on it. but it's the same medicine. But they didn't do the research, they didn't do the advertising, so they don't have to sell it at that price. They can sell it at a much lower price. The same active ingredients in the medicine, only they call it a generic,
That's
which
it.
is the same stuff. So if you get the generic, it's not less, it's the same active ingredients in that medicine, and it costs you a lot less money if you can get it.
A lot of people get hung up on that, and I don't fight that because some people just say, no, that I cannot take that generic. And again, it depends on your body, it depends on what, and then
Well, there are
sometimes,
certain things the generic has in it that makes it digest better. You might have a different coating on it. You might have a different taste to it, but the active ingredients are the same. So if that coating or that
color might be a
color,
different color.
if it soothes better for you and it tastes better, whatever, it goes down better. It doesn't make it a better medicine. It just makes it better for you. If you don't mind spending the money, go ahead because it's not a different medicine. It's the same active ingredients, and they have to make it the same. Same ingredients, and they have to make it the same. But the
Absolutely.
but the
The
but
formulary
but the decorations and the color and the size of the pill and all that stuff.
decorations,
Yeah,
they made the pills where
they
they
change they
decorative.
change the package, they change the pill, they make it look different, but it's what's in it that counts,
Right. I
and that's
agree.
that's the only difference.
Yeah, so if you want to spend that for the name brand, then we're not doctors, we're not nurses, we're just giving you some information, and you can always check it out, read up on it. It's so many there's so much stuff
No, there's so much
online that
there's
you
so
can
much
always check
information
out.
out
It
here
really
that
is.
if you seek, you find it.
Yes. And like I said, all you have to do is just try it. Put that name of that medication in and say I'd like a coupon for this medication. Because some people really and truly feel that they cannot do generic. And we don't knock that because that's a person's prerogative. And we want to make that clear. Some people really and truly
It's okay.
psychologically they feel
And,
they're not going to take
and, psych- and,
they can't do it.
and psychologically is important.
Yeah.
If you believe something, then it's fine.
That's right. So we just want to, bring you some extra information that that you can take with you and just check it out for yourself. That's what we want you to
Yeah,
always
bottom
do.
line is get involved in your own health.
Yes,
Trust me.
that's very important to get involved in your health because your health really is your wealth. Now, you
Exactly.
wanted to say something to your family?
Yeah, I wanted to send my prayers and and thoughts
Love.
thoughts and my love out to my family on the loss of my third younger brother, uh, Donald Sherman. He a couple of weeks ago he made his
Maybe.
transition in Los Angeles, California. He had been on dialysis over 15 years, and he was on self dialysis. He did it himself, and as everything in his life and a lot of my other brothers and sisters, they live life on their own. So he did research on the dialysis that they were giving him. He found out they were doing it wrong. He said the way they're doing it, they would drain me in no time flat. So he studied it and he started doing his own dialysis at home for as many years as I can think of. And that's what he did. He did successfully. So he always lived life on his own terms, and which I admire. And so a couple weeks ago, he just got tired because it left him very weak. There's certain things he couldn't do anymore, and he just made up his mind that he would go home. And he went in the house that evening and opened the door and left it unlocked so that they would find him. And he just laid down and went to sleep and went on made his transition. And if he knows like I know and looked over the other side, he ain't mad at all. And I'm basically jealous because I know he's place where I already saw. He back in the 70s when I had my accident, I took a peek on the other side. And to tell you the truth, I didn't want to come back. I really didn't want to come back. And so if he's there, he's having a good time.
He was in a car accident. Ed was, and he.
Well, sh- my story was just I was in a very serious car accident. The guy like bit my car in half. I was sitting in the door, and I remember nothing. lights just went out, and I was in another world, happy as I could be. The best I felt in my life, and
Wow.
I was totally unconscious because I think that bit my spine, and I wound up underneath the dashboard. They say I could hear them talking, but it was like they were not talking about me; it was talking about somebody else,
Wow.
and I didn't realize it was me until I got to the emergency room. And I said, "Man, this guy's messed up." I said, "Man, he looks terrible." I said, "Man, I'm glad it wasn't me." Until he tried to pick me up, put me on the gurney, and I screamed. I was
Oh,
like,
because then you felt
then
it.
I knew it was me. I was like, "Hey!"
Oh, wow.
I thought it was this guy I was listening to, and I thought it was somebody else, but it was actually me. I was having an out of body experience, so I was not in my body, which was felt great. It really did. But when I had to go back to my body, I was in severe pain, and I wanted to go back where I was.
Well, you had to come back so you could meet me and be with me.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
You're right. You're right. You're right. So,
You couldn't get away.
so travel well, my brother Don. That's my third youngest brother. Because I know you're gonna have a good time. So, you know, check the place out for me.
Well, you ain't rushing nowhere, so just calm down.
I ain't going now. Everybody got to go sooner or later. I'm 115 years old. I'm out of here.
Okay, then. So Don, you'll see him in about what, 25 or 30, 40
Yeah,
years.
I only got to go out a good 35, 40 years left. Shoot,
Okay,
that's
then
all I
all
got.
right then. That's what we talking about. We talking about life. Here's the life. Here's the
No,
your
no.
life.
On the other side of this life, there's another life. There's
Yeah.
always more life. There is no death. It's just more life. And
Okay.
once you understand that, you can live this life better because you figured out your transition. You figured out death. There's no death. So therefore, you can live better once you've accepted death, which is not really death. It's just
You
another.
just going to another
It's just a
experience
higher
of
level.
life.
It's a higher level of experience of life, which is slightly above this one, which is exciting to me because I already took a look at it and it was great. I was like,
Really?
yeah.
Wow. Well, you
Ask,
better not
ask,
be getting
do, do
too excited about it now. You better.
do
Well, it
do
was great. You better
no
settle on
do a
down
research
now.
on all the people who had a near death experience, and they'll all tell you the same thing. I got when I got to the light, I liked it. I loved it. I did not want to come back.
Well,
It's,
that's what they say when some people go into a coma after they have gone over. They really and
it's
truly
the
they.
same thing Dr. King said. He said, I've looked over to the other side. I've seen the promised land. I ain't scared no more.
Wow. Well, he
Yeah.
knew that before.
Yeah, yeah.
He had a premonition.
Yeah, everybody does. You always, well, if you're good,
If you're in tune.
if you're in tune, you will be told. Then you will have no surprises because they let you know, key you in on everything. But if you're not traveling in that vein and following that order,
Spiritual
that
path.
spiritual path, then you won't know anything because you will not be in tune to it. So he says, ask and it shall be given. You seek and you shall find. It ain't coming to you, but if you look for it, you find everything you need to know.
Well, right now, what we know is all we want to do is live life, live life right here
Oh
and
yeah.
enjoy life. And that's what we want you to do. That's why we're bringing this health segment to you and hope that you're getting a lot of good information this evening. Coming up behind us is another one of our um, segments, Pillow
I
Talk with
lose it.
God. I love that
Yeah.
title. That's
Yeah.
nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
The sister has to be very much in tune to be able to even come up with a title like that. Pillow Talk with God. That's
Yeah.
nice.
That's personal.
That's yep. That's personal. I like that.
Yeah.
So we want you to like us on Facebook. Keep talking about Zemrah and Ed. Go to CD Baby and get my Love Is Possible CD. And matter of fact, we're going to play a little bit more of Love Is Possible.
Yeah. I like that's a nice
That's
CD.
number 6.
That's a nice CD.
possible when you believe that it is. Love is possible when you know that it is. When you feel like there's no hope for love, you can make your dreams come true. If you know just what to do, you just think. Love is possible when you believe that you're free. Love is possible when you embrace it with ease. Everything you want is yours for the asking. Love is possible when you believe that it is. Don't give in and don't you doubt. Believe me, you'll get. That's one of the things that I want you all to know, that love is possible. Don't give up.
Don't give in.
Don't give in. Just know that you can believe and win. Love is possible. You got to go to CD Baby. I'm still waiting on it to come up on iTunes and Apple and Spotify. It's going to be on several places where you can be able to get it. But right now, currently, it is on www.cdbaby. Put in Zemrah or Love is Possible by Zemrah, and it will come up.
ZMRAH.
Again, you can purchase singles or you can get the whole CD. Okay? So we hope that you have gotten a little bit out of our health segment for this evening. And that's what we want to keep bringing to you, just some information that keeps you spry, keeps you going, keeps you happy, keeps you restful, keeps you in tune with yourself. And again, we say that your health is your wealth. And that's how you got to think. That's how you got to believe that we all can heal our bodies by our thoughts. It's not always what you put in your body, as far as even food, even your herbs. It's important on how you think, because when you think, you know you're going to do what's right anyway. So that means that you'll make the right choices on, you know, what you eat, the herbs that you choose, the medications that you accept to take, and just all of that. But just make sure that you always make the right decisions. You always do your research. Again, like Ed said, it is so much information online. And always talk to your doctor. If you have a doctor that you can talk to, always look for a doctor that you can really have a conversation with and that understands you and willing to take the time to understand how you feel about the medication that you're taking. If you're taking a lot of medication, you know, kind of ask the doctor, are there any other suggestions or alternatives that you can look at? So again, do your own research. Know that your body can heal itself. The key is knowing your body, and that makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, and putting your body in the best condition so it can heal itself and give it what it needs to do that.
Right. That's
Because it
what's
needs
important.
certain things in order for it to repair itself.
And the main thing, it always, that's what I have to make sure that I get, because sometimes I can be a little lacking on it because I'm a busy girl.
Mhm.
But I'm determined now to start, you know, trying to go to bed a little early. And it just makes a difference, especially if you get up real early, like I do. You got to make sure that you get at least 6 to 7 hours.
Yeah, especially since we're not as old as we used to be.
There you go. So again, like me on Facebook, we always want to thank our producers, Earl Winfrey and Wanda B, for giving us an opportunity to be able to share this information with you. We hope that we are always informative and that we bring something to you that you can, you know, use in your life. So we say good evening, God bless you, and we're here every Tuesday at IntellectualRadio.com on from 6 to 7.
And as always, I want to thank my man Earl will give me the opportunity to be myself again.
Yeah. Good night. Love is possible when